Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is the International Space Station. I'm ready for the event.
Canadian Space Agency PAO, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Julie, I hear you loud and clear, and nice to be talking to people at the Canadian Space Agency and everyone in Canada. Good morning. You know, there are a lot of really interesting things going on in Canada right now and around the world, and in all different fields. And we tend to only focus on a few, the ones that somehow bubble up to a level of public perception. Personally, I think what we're doing in human exploration, in trying to understand our world better, trying to understand the area around our planet better, and then try to understand the rest of the universe, I think that is important. I think it's a critical thing for the health of the planet, for the health of the Canadian economy, and just generically for people. And so for the last 20 years as an astronaut, I have been speaking at schools, talking to the media, writing and doing everything I can to try and just let people know what the Canadian Space Agency is doing. And now, living on the space station with the incredible privilege of commanding this spaceship, and also with the new technology that's available through social media and the direct links that NASA has built between this spaceship and Earth, it has given us the opportunity now to really clearly transmit what it is we're doing up here and to let Canadians and really the whole world see. And that is the goal. And I'm really delighted at just the level of response when you give people a chance to see what's happening here in the universe around them. When you get them to experience it as people, then the response becomes overwhelming. And Twitter is just a means of communication. It's just another form of radio, but it's extremely vivid, the level of public support, and I'm really pleased to see it. And I think the science is important, but I think people's awareness of the science we're doing is important as well. And I'm just pleased to be the messenger in the middle. Donc, c'est toujours absolument nécessaire dans une économie, dans un pays comme Canada, une province comme Québec, ou juste dans une famille comme chez moi, d'avoir une balance entre les rêves et la pratique, entre ce que je veux faire et ce que je dois faire chaque jour. Et juste comme chez moi, c'est nécessaire d'utiliser une partie de la monnaie pour aujourd'hui et pour les problèmes et pour l'assurance et pour la santé et tout ça. Mais en même temps, c'est nécessaire d'avoir une partie de ça pour l'avenir, pour l'inspiration de mes enfants, de nos enfants, et pour mieux savoir l'environnement, pour la santé dans l'avenir pour ma famille ou pour pour notre pays. Et donc, la grande question, c'est toujours, c'est quoi le balance propre dans ça? Et à moi, au Canada, nous avons pris une balance formidable parce que nous avons une qualité de vie très élevée au Canada, mais en même temps, nous avons beaucoup des universités et nous avons les chances pour les Canadiens maintenant, les jeunes aux Canadiens, comme jamais. Et oui, c'est difficile et c'est pas peut-être le temps le plus facile dans l'histoire, mais pendant la Première et Deuxième Guerre mondiale, c'était un temps difficile. Pendant tous les moments historiques, il y a toujours des problèmes. Et ça ressemble que les problèmes d'aujourd'hui sont les plus difficiles que jamais. C'est juste normal. Mais en même temps, c'est nécessaire de savoir, de penser de les longtemps et d'avoir une balance entre eux. Et à moi, ce qu'on fait ici, nous avons notre manipulateur et le dextre au-dessus de la station. Nous avons des expériences dans la station comme Microflow, qui était dessiné, inventé et fabriqué au Canada, au Québec. Et c'est une avance pour la santé des Canadiens, pour l'analyse sanguine. Et donc, c'est une invention pour la station. C'est grâce à la monnaie pour l'exploration, mais en même temps, c'est bon pour Canada, pour le business du Canada aussi, pour la santé des Canadiens. Et oui, c'est toujours difficile. Et c'est pas la décision ne reste à moi. Mais moi, ce que je fais comme astronaute, c'est de travailler assez fort que possible, que chaque sou, chaque pièce qui est donnée à l'agence, qui est donnée à moi, ce qui est ma responsabilité, que je remplis ça un maximum pour moi et pour la station, pour le programme spatial, mais en même temps pour Canada. Peter, this is a marvelous human experience. And I mean, the only thing that gets me mad is I have to sleep. I mean, this is a tremendous opportunity, one that I've dreamed about since I was a young Canadian, and one that I've worked towards ever since. And my resolution has been to make the absolute most of it, to spend as little time sleeping as I can. If I get an extra 3 or 4 minutes, go look out the window. When I get back from this, I'm going to regret every minute that I didn't spend looking at the world or trying small experiments or doing things that are impossible in the rest of my life. And no, I mean, you can find beauty and pleasure in every day, or you can find frustration and hate in every day. It's kind of a personal choice. And up here, the opportunity for the pleasurable, beautiful part is overwhelmingly in the majority. So I don't let myself get that way. It's not going to help, and it's kind of counterintuitive to being in a place like this. Et en français, chaque jour, ça reste à tout le monde de choisir d'être frustré ou peut-être d'être une émotion bonne, d'être d'être prête pour la journée et d'être amusé par tous les petits détails de la journée. Et moi, j'ai rêvé d'être ici dans la station quand j'avais 9-10 ans, et j'étais en train de préparer pour ça depuis 7 ans. Et donc, pour moi, la chose peut-être le frustrant, c'est la nécessité de dormir, parce que ça prend quelques heures de chaque jour. Quand j'ai le temps maintenant, c'est juste un environnement incroyable, inspirant. Et quand j'ai 3 minutes, il y a une fenêtre, un hublot ici comme un rêve. C'est incroyable qu'on peut voir dans ça. Et donc, absolument non. J'ai choisi l'émotion d'être ici. Et je peux changer les émotions. C'est un choix personnel. Et donc, moi, je choisis d'être de bonheur et d'absolument savoir le goût d'être ici. Jackie, the real world is a tiny little blue speck surrounded by everything else. And we are only just now, just starting to understand about all the rest of that. And it is only by taking these first steps away from our planet, both with machinery, with robots, but more interestingly and much more deeply with people, that we can really start to see the world's place in all of that. And so for any person that came up, I mean, we grab each other by the scruff of the neck up here, but for any person that came up here to the space station, of course, the first thing I would do would be to take them to the big window so they could truly see our Earth, to understand the magnificence of it, the inevitable power of it, the size, the rolling beauty of it, but also the inherent fragility of it. And when you see the blackness and the harshness of the universe and the one layer of onion skin atmosphere that's around our planet, then it becomes so vivid in your mind that it permanently changes your thinking if you hadn't thought about it before. And then, of course, just the science that's on board. We're running hundreds of experiments on the space station that can't be run on the surface of the Earth. And so after we got over the initial wonder of it, I would go around to each of the racks around and talk about the metals research that's going on in that rack over there, or the crystallization research that's going on over my head to try and make better materials on Earth, or microflow here in my hands that's floating around, a Canadian experiment that has taken this challenge and necessity of keeping people healthy out here, and as a result have come up with a way of doing blood analysis in something that you can see is the size of a bread box or a big loaf of bread. That when you challenge people with a new extreme, with a new frontier and a new environment, they come up with new solutions. And mounted to the top of this space station is the alpha magnetic spectrometer. The control computer is right here beside me, and it is trying to understand the absolute stuff of the universe. What is antimatter? What is the percentage of antimatter and dark matter, collecting dark energy from the universe? Something that has just very recently even been theorized and proven, and we are using this human platform to dig into that, to actually get out there and sample it, something that can't be done any other way. So it would be with great pleasure and pride that I would have anybody come up, and someone of David Suzuki's stature would be a wonderful guest, but also a wonderful representative of humanity to come up and really see the magnificence of what we're doing together up here. Oui, c'est comme un coup d'œil ici dans la station en regardant la Terre parce que maintenant c'est possible de voir un grand lac comme, je ne suis pas sûr en français, mais the Aral Sea, juste à côté du Kazakhstan et la Russie. Et juste pendant mes expériences, pendant ma vie, pendant les dernières 20 années, des changements là-bas, c'était incroyable. Et c'était un changement humain. C'était un changement fait par ce que nous avons fait là-bas. Et il y avait un grand lac, un grand mer là-bas, un grand... c'est comme un petit océan, mais maintenant, il y a presque juste juste rien. C'est juste le sable là-bas. Et c'est juste le résultat de nos décisions, de ce que nous avons fait. Et ça, c'est peut-être l'avenir pour les autres parties de la planète, de notre pays aussi. Et donc, ça reste à nous de penser de ça, de savoir ça. Et c'est difficile à savoir parce que c'est une chose loin du Canada. C'est possible de dire, non, c'est pas notre problème. Mais c'est pas la vérité. Les grands lacs, c'est pas illimité. Il y a une limite de la quantité de l'eau dans les grands lacs, dans le fleuve. Et donc, c'est nécessaire d'être un gardien, d'être un adulte, de penser de ce qu'on fait. Et c'est impossible de changer tellement vite. C'est juste les petits changements qui peuvent le changer. Mais ce que je fais comme un individu, ce que vous faites, ce que chaque Canadien fait, tout ensemble, c'est possible de faire un changement. Mais c'est nécessaire de faire ça graduellement. Et oui, le climat se change naturellement et peut-être à cause de ce que nous avons fait, notre influence, un réchauffement, comme vous avez dit. Mais ce n'est pas la première fois dans l'histoire de notre planète, ce n'est pas la dernière fois. Et c'est juste reste à nous d'être peut-être plus responsables dans nos décisions et de penser plus long que 5 ans, plus long qu'une élection, plus long qu'une vie humaine. Et penser de nos grands-enfants et plus. Et avec ça, avec les petits changements, un après l'autre, les petits pas, c'est possible peut-être de garder la santé de la planète pour le futur. Well, first, let me just say that a tremendous number of people have worked very, very hard to make this type of thing possible for our country and for me to be here as a representative. People right across the country building Canadarm, that was our ticket on board. The people at the Space Agency, of course, do tremendous work. I've worked at this for a long time myself, along with the other astronauts. And so this is only the result of that this possibility even exists. And the public awareness of it comes from all that huge pyramid of work that leads up to it. And really is culminating now with something really clear to focus on. And I think it's great. I've enlisted the aid of someone who's of the right generation to try and give me advice on how to use social media, in addition to all the other wonderful work that's being done. And my son Evan has been helping me with that and doing a terrific job, as evidenced by the number of people. And Twitter's just one measure, of course. There's over 500,000 people following on Twitter, but social media has many different forms. And the numbers are good to read, but what's important out of it is the impact that it has. And you asked what is significant out of that for me. I read constantly about schoolrooms across Canada and around the world that are using this to teach, that are using the work that I'm doing, the science that we have on board, like microflow, the pictures that we take of the world, the fact that I speak 3 languages, 1 reasonably and 2 passably. They use the fact that I play guitar and play music. They use all of those different facets of this human experience leaving Earth in order to teach, in order to inspire young people all around the world, but specifically for us, of course, in Canada, to make the most of themselves, to understand our place in the world. And it's a really clear message when you can see one Canadian constantly comparing all of these places around the world almost simultaneously. It's hard to view the other places as foreign and different when they are all viewed in 90 minutes. And for me, it's very heartwarming when I see that people are internalizing that, when they stop using the third person and start talking about we and us and not just you and they. And so I mean, mine is just one voice in billions. I'm the commander of this spaceship, but I'm the 35th commander of this spaceship. This is by no means any sort of pinnacle. But at the same time, I'm trying to use whatever means I can in order to just help people see themselves better and to make better decisions, whether they're 5 years old or whether they're 85 years old. And social media and all of the work that the people are doing has been a big part of that.
Station, this is Houston ACR. The Canadian Space Agency passes along their sincerest appreciation. That concludes our event.